There are numerous methods of spreading the tarot card deck. My favorite and most simplified method is offered here, which utilizes only the 22 major arcana cards. Although the same spread can be used in utilizing the entire 78 card deck. This spread is often referred to as the Soloman Spread or the Magic Circle of Solomon. The 56 minor arcana cards are put aside. The remaining 22 major arcana cards are put into numerical sequence by the diviner or reader. The unnumbered card, or the Fool, is either placed at the very beginning of the deck, in the middle of the deck between 20 and 21, or at the very end of the deck, but generally at the very beginning of the deck. The person requesting an answer to a specific question is known as the questioner. The questioner sits at a table opposite the diviner and maintains a serious mental attitude. The questioner puts all other thoughts and desires from their mind except the specific question which they want answered, while simultaneously shuffling the cards. The person who handles the cards impregnates them with their own personal magnetism, and thereby creates a rapport between their subconscious and the cards. When the questioner is satisfied with their shuffling, they place the cards face down in front of the diviner. In the Soloman Spread, we utilize 10 major arcana cards, which are spread in a certain pattern. Prior to my reading and interpreting the cards, I explain to the questioner why I'm laying these cards in a certain pattern. Then we go on to reading and interpreting the cards. The sequence for laying out the cards is as follows. The first card represents the questioner, their present influence, area of influence, which means family, job, love life, career, etc. Incidentally, the sign of the zodiac is also represented in the tarot cards. For example, the Sun, Roman numeral number 19, represents Aries. The next card represents the questioner and their immediate influence, things that will transpire in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Number 20, Roman numeral number 20, which means judgment, which also relates to the zodiac, and the sign is Scorpio. This very next card, the third card in the spread, represents the questioner and their final goal or destiny, which means the best that could happen to them as a result of this reading. It also represents the sign of the zodiac, which is Leo, Leo the lion, or number 11. The next card represents the questioner and their distant past foundation, early childhood, growing up, mother, father, family, so forth. And that's represented by the Fool, which does not have a zodiac relationship. This next card, which falls underneath the Sun, represents the questioner's recent past experiences, things that have transpired within the last 2 or 3 years. If they haven't come to pass yet, they're going to culminate very, very shortly. This card, incidentally, is the Temperance card, number 14, which is also a zodiac sign, which is Cancer. The next card, a very important card, represents the questioner's near future, things that will transpire within the next 6 or 7 months, that influence was coming to be. That is a sign. My goodness, there's a lot of zodiac signs represented here, all except the Fool. This sign here is a sign of the Chariot, number 7, which also means it's the sign of the Sagittarius in the zodiac. Now these cards here, the 6 cards which I have just laid out, represents the past, present, and future of the questioner. I'm about to lay out 4 other cards. These cards are not as powerful, but yet they represent the philosophical side of the tarot. For example, this first card I'm going to spread represents the questioner's attitude, their attitude about everything that's going on right now relative to their present environment. That is a very good card. That's a Queen card, the Empress, that does not have a zodiac relationship, number 3. The next card I'm about to spread represents the questioner's position in life, their influence on other people. That is a Tower card. Again, that card does not have a relationship in the zodiac. Here's a very important card. I always consider some very important. It tells me a lot about the questioner. This card I'm about to spread right now represents the questioner, the real questioner. This represents the real person, their hidden fears, fantasies, frustrations. These are questions they may ask themselves even 10 years from now. That's a very good sign right there. That's a sign of the lovers. Again, this relates to the zodiac, and that represents the Gemini card, the lovers, or Roman numeral number 6. I always feel when I do these cards, there are two most important cards in this entire magic circle of Soloman Spread. Number one being the final goal or destiny, the best that could happen to them as a result of this reading, and this card which I'm about to spread right now. This card here represents the result of this reading, this present reading, which also tells a lot about the questioner. And also, if you remember earlier, I mentioned that while the questioner was shuffling the cards, they asked themselves a specific question which they wanted answered, preferably a yes or no answer. Now, depending on this card, it could either be a good card or a bad card. If it's a good card, the answer is very positive, and the questioner puts the answer in the proper perspective. However, if it's not too good of a card, like this card right here, it's not a very good sign. So this is the result of this reading and the answer to this question. And it's not a bad card. That is the number 12 card, or the Hanged Man. It's a very interesting reading for this young lady. And now, as I mentioned, I spread the cards in a certain pattern. You see, we have the past, present, future, 6 cards. We have 4 cards here which represent the philosophical side of the tarot. We have attitude, position in life. We have the real person and the answer to this question. Now I am going to interpret the cards for the person.